The New York guilty on all counts judgment, which was issued to R. Kelly by the Brooklyn federal judge Ann Donnelly together with her 12 jurors, has remained highly questionable, with most of the questions asked seeking to understand how this came about left completely unanswered. In a trial where the key government witness Azriel Clary has been determined non-credible in many ways, to again see the defendant determined guilty on all 10 counts leaves critical thinkers puzzled and asking how this could be possible. It looks like the government alongside their Department of Justice counterparts came to this trial with clear-cut targets they were meant to achieve, and were not willing to give away any win to the defense even if they deserved it. From attorney Jennifer Bonjean's appeal submission meant for the opening briefs hearing, a document which repeatedly and accurately quotes from the trial transcript, it is easy to tell that it wasn't R. Kelly advocating that the Clary daughter Azriel becomes his woman, but the work of the Clary parents, who not only engaged in text message exchanges with Kelly while posing to be the daughter and literally expressed interest to be with him on her behalf, but also convinced and encouraged their own daughter to go be with an older man with selfish monetary gain as their goal. And when it comes to gaining from this, the Clarys were willing to do whatever it took to get the R&B king coughing dollars to their bank account, which was going to be either willingly or by force through blackmail. I am confident that by now we all know that the Clarys entered into a conspiracy with their own daughter to blackmail the R&B king, sending her to him as a bait. They went as far as lying about their daughter's age and telling R. Kelly she was 18 years of age, a lie which even their daughter carried with her to R. Kelly's tours and later into his apartment in Chicago, where she attempted to leave with him. The fact that the Clarys had to lie to R. Kelly their daughter was 18 years of age alone is proof that the R&B king was not out there on the lookout for underage girls to be with, and his prerequisite was that a woman be at least 18 years old in order to keep it legal. In such a situation where a defendant's intention was never to commit a crime, but is misguided into an arrangement that is illegal without one's knowledge like that, especially by the very people who were supposed to take care of their daughter and had the primary responsibility of protecting her from any such situation, even the most unkind judge, or let's say the most principled and non-flexible judge, would not issue a guilty for all counts conviction, and even if he did, when it comes to sentencing, 30 years would be way too much. Also important to note is that according to the same trial transcript, when R. Kelly later on found out that Azriel was actually 17 years and a half, he quickly sent her back to Florida, but because of her ambitious parents, she did not stay there long before she was redeployed to her mission again to go live with Robert with the hope to defraud him. Azriel once confessed to this when she spoke to Gayle King, and she said her parents begun to ask for money like R. Kelly owed them something, attaching serious conditions to their demands in a way of blackmail. Here is a recap.
They started to send threats to both me and him. They said, oh, I'll put all your naked pictures all over the world. I'm going to ruin you. I'm going to ruin him. If he doesn't send $20,000 to this bank account by Monday, oh, I'm going to put everything out there, and then $10,000 after that.
The question is, why would a man who the government claims targeted young girls for underage encounters have to first be lied to that Azriel was 18 before he could be with her? And why would he send her home after learning that she still had a few months to get to 18? It simply doesn't make logical sense at all. It's comparable to insisting a dog is hungry yet it walks away from a meaty bone. What the content of the trial transcript along which R. Kelly should have been judged suggests is that while he could have preferred to be with women younger than himself, he wasn't looking out for girls under the age of 18. And no wonder there is video evidence at one of his old shows where he is seen displaying an 18 and over signage to indicate that if any woman wanted to be with him or anyone else in his music group, the woman needed to be 18 and over. Such a person is no pedophile or predator, which the government accused him for. And the reason they maintained non-credible witnesses such as Azriel Clary, who lied to him she was 18, Lisa Van Allen, who was lying to the honorable court that she was 17 when she met him yet she was already 18 and legal, like Faith Rogers, who was in the habit of sleeping with R. Kelly but now wants to call it forced labor among others, is to try and use their numbers to blind the Department of Justice and cause them to think R. Kelly was a very bad man. This prejudicial approach of parading multiple women in front of the defendant to accuse him of this and that is actually an effective method of getting the jurors to bias the defendant, and this often leads to wrongful convictions.
The 6-part series interviewed 50 people. Family members, your former tour manager, numerous women who all claim that you abused them. Yeah. Are you saying everybody in that documentary was not telling the truth about you? Everybody?
If you really look at that documentary, which I'm sure you have,
I have.
Everybody said something bad about me.
Another reason for having all these false accusers on board is to use them as justification for RICO violation charges, which are often associated to a multiplicity of victims. It's difficult for government to convince the court that a defendant is involved in racketeering activities with only a single victim or two, for they will wonder if this really required an enterprise after all. This should also explain why R. Kelly was accused and indicted in multiple jurisdictions with different accusers. Even though the prosecutors knew that Chicago State and Minnesota charges were weak and bogus, it helped the government that these other accusers were apparently on the waiting list while they pursued defendants' federal cases. The prejudice that comes with multiple cases in multiple states with multiple victims is huge. In fact, by doing this to him and later dropping the charges, R. Kelly deserves to be compensated by the government because those charges did affect his defense elsewhere. Kipori Baby says, "It looks like the act of denying R. Kelly bond from day one, along with the number of cases filed, was all a strategy to keep R. Kelly locked away for a very long time. This indeed caused him to be prejudiced, as the jurors would think. This man, who the surviving R. Kelly docuseries has described as a predator, is already accused in multiple states and by a multiplicity of accusers. How can he be innocent? It's therefore logical to say he should have been compensated for the dropped accusations." According to Olive McDowell. "It's so sad to see how these judges have made R. Kelly look like an evil person, irrespective of all the good things he has done for many people. These very women who have tarnished his name he took care of. The purpose of all this was to prejudice him and have him locked up for the rest of his life. It's a shame on our government and on the justice system." Thank you for watching today's video, a production of LFN Media, giving you another perspective of issues at hand. We make it our business to keep you updated with the truth amidst the cloud of lies the media wants you to believe. It is therefore important to subscribe to this channel, hit the bell icon and allow all notifications so that you don't miss out whenever we publish a new video.